So I'm going to hand it over to you, Erin, telling us about learning content.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. We've been working on learning content for several months now, so I'm really excited to get to share this with everybody. It's an expansion to our self-paced courses, and it enables course creators to enhance their courses by adding learning resources, assignments, and quizzes. While we were working on this, we've had a few goals in mind. One of those is to streamline course creation, to make things intuitive, fast and easy for our course creators. Another one is to make professional learning easily accessible to staff so that everybody can access that high quality professional learning. And then lastly, our goal was to build in some accountability measurements so that course requirements are completed effectively. Because this has been a larger feature that we've been working on for a while, we wanted to invite several partners to join and participate in a beta program where they were able to test it out with their districts, share these courses with learning content, and then provide us feedback so that we could help improve this feature before sharing it with everybody. We're really grateful for their participation, and their insights have definitely helped shape this feature. Speaking of beta participants, like Anna mentioned, we've got Serena Georges Penny from Schertz-Cibolo Universal City ISD here with us. Her district has been using learning content for about 3 months. And in that time, they've been able to create over 50 courses with learning content that have included over 3,000 registrants. So Serena, thank you so much for being here today with us. I'd like to turn it over to you to share your experience and the impact that this had on your district.
Hi, well, first I want to thank KickUp for allowing me to share my experience with using the learning content. I have to tell you that prior to using the learning content, our process for having online professional learning was a little cumbersome. We utilized 3 different systems in our district in order to get professional learning that was online to our staff. We utilized our student learning management system. We use Schoology in our district. And so we utilized that to help get some professional learning out to our teachers. But then we also had another professional learning system that we were kind of holding on to because they had the self-paced option available for teachers. And then we had one more system where we had our compliance courses. Those of you that are in Texas know that our State Board of Education requires certain courses at the start of the school year. And so we had another system that actually housed those courses. And so when Erin reached out and she said, hey, do you guys want to test out this beta system for learning content? We were all over it, you guys. We're like, yes, absolutely, because KickUp has been such a great partner. And so we decided, once she trained me on it, and I have to tell you, when she trained me on it, it was very easy. She let me do the driving and had very little direction for me because it's intuitive. And so you're able to add courses very easily through the system. And then once she showed me, I was able to show my content coordinator team. And so we sat down as a team and we said, hey, you know what courses do we now want to put into learning content to help streamline this process for our staff? And so we took a look at our compliance courses that we have to do at the start of the school year, and we loaded those up. And then there were some other things that we knew that teachers preferred a self-paced option for. So things like our book studies. We also have some LPRAC training that our teachers have to do for our ESL students. And we just started loading up those courses in there. One of the things that KickUp asked me was like, have you heard any feedback? And I had to tell them like, you know what, y'all, all these participants, 3,000 participants, not one thing. And I know for some people, you're like, not one thing, but for us, when we don't hear, we know that's a good thing. We know that it's because it was easy. Teachers knew exactly where to go. They already were familiar with KickUp because we already use it as a product. And so all we had to do was give them the registration URL and they registered and they were learning away. One of the neat things about this feature is that previously we had to go through our learning management system and check all 3 systems to see who has completed, who has not completed. And that really was an individual participant process. Like we literally had to go name by name. And one of the neat things about this feature is that you can set it up where it gives the participants automatic credit. And so that makes it way easier. We do not have to go in and check individually to see if people are finished. They get automatic credit as soon as they submit all of the required components of that training. One other neat component of it is that we can also see how far they are in completing the learning. And so it gives you a little bit of like a little bar that tells you, okay, they have completed this much, they completed that much, or they haven't even started. And so it's at a glance, and we can go in there and just nudge some people if we need to, and let staff members know when they have completed and they're good to go. It has saved time also for us because credit, and it allows our campus staff and our district staff to be able to double check and make sure everyone's completing it as needed. It has been a tremendous time saver for us. And as we are continuing to work through learning content and work with KickUp, they're also adding additional features to it to make it easier and very quick to respond to what we see on our end that needs to be improved. And so we're very thankful to be a part of that experience and have so many different participants complete their courses, and it has saved a tremendous amount of time on our end as we have developed courses for this. Right now, we're sitting down to look at, the rest of our school year and what kind of courses we're going to build in for our professional development days that we have coming up. And some of our campuses have now started to load in things like their book studies and other self-paced opportunities for our teachers. And so I can't say enough great things about it, especially how easy it is to load up the content. And so I'm going to pass it off to Erin so that she can show you guys exactly how easy it is to navigate the system.
Yeah, thank you, Serena. I appreciate you sharing all of those details. I'm sure that it helps for these districts to hear ideas of how they might be able to use this feature. I'm a visual learner, and for those of you who would like to connect the dots of what Serena was saying to some visuals, I'm going to share my screen and show you just some of the main features of this. First of all, you need to know how to set up a course with learning content. So this is not available right now unless you're a beta participant. I will mention our release date at the end. So once you're in the self-paced courses form, I hope everybody can see my screen okay. You will add a name to your course, and then you will enable content for this course. So this is a new section, it has a little orange icon, and you'll check it on or off depending on what you want for this course. And then there's also another option, like Serena mentioned, to automatically grant credit. So you can have that setting on or off depending on your preferences. It is a time saver because once they've completed all of the requirements within the course, it will confirm their attendance automatically. So you don't have to go in and select confirm 100+ times. So I'm going to create this course and just show you where you add the content. So this is in a separate location. Once you create the course and you're on this course details page, you see this content section, and you'll select edit content to get into that edit flow. We're using modules to help organize your content. So you can have one module, you can have 5 modules, whatever you need for your course, depending on all of the content involved. For time's sake, I'm going to keep it as module 1, but you can name it with specifics. Here in this drop-down menu, you can see the different items that you're able to add. I'm going to focus on a resource for this example, but I will show you what an assignment and quiz look like as well. So for a resource, you're going to give it a title. Let me get this title in here. And then you have the opportunity to select an icon. So a resource can mean anything as simple as, a text explaining an overview of the course, or it can be as involved as attachments, links, and texts, a way to get to another website. And so this icon is meant to help the participant understand, what am I about to do in this next step? So for this example, I'm going to select the video icon. It doesn't change anything about this form. It's just an identifier. Let me add in a description for what this is. And then because this is a video, I want to highlight our embed functionality that you're able to do for links. So if I had this as an item on my computer, I would just upload it. But for a link, I can go in here and paste this link in, and I can display it as an embed. So that way I'm able to see what my participants are going to be able to see directly within KickUp without having to leave and go to YouTube or another location. And so that's as easy as that, just to add one item. To show you what a more involved course looks like, this one has already been created and has 3 modules in it. When I go to edit, I can see all of the different items. This one has 5 different items. 3 of them are resources. You can see these different icons, give you a heads up, and then an assignment and a quiz. For assignments, you've got your title and your instructions, and then you have to decide how you want this item to be approved. So when participants submit these, is it going to be automatically approved? Or would you like to see each submission and review it to make sure it meets whatever expectations you have for the functionality? And for a quiz, that's the last thing that you're able to create. Our beta participants have not been able to use this one yet, but it's coming. You'll, basic details, you'll add those, but then you need to set a passing score because this is automatically graded. So you don't have to go through and look at each individual quiz submission. KickUp is going to do that for you and let the participants know if they've passed or not. And you can determine how many attempts they're allowed to have by selecting this item. We have 2 different question types, multiple choice and true false. Multiple choice questions can have anywhere from 2 to 6 options. So you could do a yes, no question, or you could have up to 6 choices. You'll just enter those choices in and select which answer is correct. And it will show you here. So you're able to go through and do kind of a quick check to make sure that you selected the right answers as the quiz creator so that the quiz can be graded correctly. And the next thing that I want to show, we talked about, tracking progress and making sure that, the staff members are on track and they don't need maybe any support. So you've got this snapshot view where you can see an overall picture. This was the bar that Serena was talking about, 9 out of 15 items complete. But then you can see a breakdown of each resource and assignment and quiz and, where the participant is at in their course journey. If you want to dive a little bit deeper and see some more detail, you can go into the assignments and see what those submissions look like. So I can see these have clipboards by them, which means that they need to be reviewed. So I can click in and see those items, and then I can approve if they meet the expectations, or I might decide to return it because they added the wrong file. Those are the main items for the participant view, or for the creator and facilitator view. Let me show just a quick view of what this looks like for the participant. So there are some items that are helpful to know. So here I am as a participant. I can see this course and I can preview it. So I can get a heads up of this content. And I can click through and I can see, is this a course I'm interested in? Do I have time for this course? Is it accomplishing the goals that I would like in my professional learning journey? And go through and preview. Then I'll be able to register for it and begin my learning here. And I can mark complete and navigate throughout this course and complete the requirements. Those are the main items that I wanted to share for learning content. I know a big question that a lot of you probably have is when is this going to be available? And that I'm happy to tell you that that's going to be available within the first half of December. So keep an eye out for that. We will be, communicating the release of this functionality.
Thank you so much, Erin and Serena. We had one question come in through the chat, and I think our team will be responding there, unless someone wants to speak on it first.
Erin, are you able to talk to us about whether or not we can import existing courses via SCORM or even link out to external professional learning platforms?
Yes. So right now you can't import a course necessarily. But you can add a link to that. So if you wanted to create a resource when you're creating the content and add that link of where they need to go, it'll take them to that website and bring them back in, and then they can submit, their certificate of learning, which I know is a use case that a lot of our beta participants have been using, and it's saved them a lot of time.